Liga MX fans, how are you? How are you doing? It's playoff season. We're back, and I want to make this video. I know it's a little late, but we'll be recapping the first leg of the quarterfinals and then giving our predictions for the second leg of the quarterfinals that are going to be played this weekend. Still going to be using the same predictions that popped up for the first leg, and that's sort of the recap. But regardless, too much information, right? My name is Oscar Moneyball, and I'll be using my cutting edge match simulator to help us predict the scores, win probabilities, and goal scoring opportunities for the quarterfinals of the Liga MX Clausura 2024. Make sure we move on. So this right here are the predictions for the first leg that has already been played. So first game, Guadalajara versus Toluca. Expected goals for Guadalajara 1.9 versus 1.5. Win probability does give the edge to Guadalajara, which Guadalajara did win 1-0. Pachuca versus America, 0.9 versus America's 2.1 expected goals. America were the favorites to win this by a long shot, 63% versus 15% for Pachuca. And Pumas versus Cruz Azul, we see here that Cruz Azul were the favorites to win, but in expected goals, Pumas were going to outscore them 1.7 to 0.9. I know that makes no sense, but keep in mind that the expected goals and the win probability, at least in the match simulator, don't go hand in hand. We move on. Tigres versus Monterrey, really good game that I was able to watch yesterday. Expected goals for Tigres 1.5, 1.3 for Monterrey. Win probability did give the edge to Tigres. Unfortunately for them, they lost 1-2 versus Monterrey. Now, a little recap. I guess we went 3-0. Well, sorry. We got one right, one wrong, one right, one wrong. So we were at 50% there. Rule of thumb for this match simulator or any other content that I make, you might hear me say this plenty of times, plus or minus one goal for the home team and away team, right? So plus or minus one goal for Guadalajara gives them 0.9 or 2.9. Toluca's 0.5 to 2.5. Pachuca would be at -1 to 1.1. Sorry, negative 0.9. Sorry, wow, 0.9 to 1.1. Wow, I'm ridiculous. Or 1.1 to 3.1, so on and so forth, right? So now we come into the predictions for the second leg. Here they are. We'll go over them one by one. The first game is America versus Pachuca. America is expected to score 2.7 goals versus Pachuca's 1.2. America are the favorites, 64% to win this game, 14% for Pachuca to win this one. The over 0.5 goals for America is at a high 87%. If America wants to advance and compete, they gotta score, so it's very likely that they will. 65% for Pachuca. The over 1.5 for America is at 69%. Haha, 69. To 31% for Pachuca. All in all, I think America will advance. I know I'm an America fan, so I am really biased on that, but I will share more information as to why later on. America advances, and let's go to our next prediction. Match 6 for the cuartos de final, which is Toluca versus Guadalajara, the second game to be played on Saturday. Toluca is expected to score 1.8 goals versus Guadalajara's 1.0. Toluca are the favorites to win, 56% to 20% for Guadalajara. The over 0.5 goals is 83% to 61% for Guadalajara, and the over 1.5 is 54 for Toluca, 25% for Guadalajara. What do I think about this game? My gut is telling me Guadalajara advances, even though they may lose this game. I think it's very likely that we'll see Guadalajara scoring in this match versus Toluca. which will then force Toluca to score 2 goals, which kind of seems like what we can expect from Toluca, to score 2 goals either way, which would allow Toluca to advance based off the goal differential. Being placed in higher in the table. But if Toluca can't score that second goal, it's going to be really tough for them. I think my gut's telling me Guadalajara will advance. The match simulator here, if everything goes right as far as what the match simulator has, even if Toluca wins 2-1, even if Guadalajara scores that first goal and Toluca does score 2, Toluca advances, so it can go either way, right? Logic would be Toluca advance. My gut's telling me Guadalajara will advance, so that'll be what I go with. So America, Chivas advance. Cruz Azul versus Pumas. Cruz Azul expected goals 2.0 versus Pumas 1.4. Cruz Azul are the favorites to win this one, 49% to 28% for Pumas. The over 0.5 goals for Cruz Azul is 84%, 74% for Pumas. This looks like both teams score. Over 1.5 for Cruz Azul is 57 to 41. Let's just type this up, I think, so we have a record of it. Oh, no, it's not gonna. America. I think Chivas. So I definitely see Cruz Azul advancing. Why? Because Pumas has to score 3 goals. Pumas has to score 3 goals in order to advance, and Cruz Azul can't score one. That's a really hard endeavor for Pumas. It's 1 goal that Cruz Azul scores and it's kind of game over for Pumas. So Pumas did a great job winning the first leg with such dominance that gives them a little bit of wiggle room for them to make some mistakes on this next one. The last game, we have the Clásico de Monterrey versus Tigres. Monterrey expected goals 1.9 versus 1.4 for Tigres. Win probability is in favor for Monterrey, 48% to 27% for Tigres. The over 0.5 goals for Monterrey is 83% and 73% for Tigres. The over 1.5 goals for Monterrey is 55% for Monterrey and 0 for Tigres to score a second goal. Tigres needs to score 2 goals to advance and not receive one. Monterrey have control of the game. They can wait and sit, play counters, or just score an early goal and force Tigres to then score 3 goals to advance. It's going to be a hard game for Tigres. So, as I mentioned, Monterrey is advancing. This is what I see in the semifinals. This one I'm not too sure of, right? I'm just going to leave it like this. It's going to be a hard one for Chivas to advance. Although they do have the control of the game, they did win 1-0. Toluca just needs to score 2. Whether Guadalajara scores or not, Toluca needs to go for 2. And that's exactly the result that we're seeing here. Now, if it's 1-1 or 1-0 to Toluca, Toluca still advance. So Toluca, out of all the scenarios, Toluca is just the favorite to get out of there. They have everything in their favor. However, Chivas can, I keep going back to this, Chivas can kind of take it away from them. That wraps us up. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about my predictions. Let me know if you think what you think about the Toluca Chivas game. I think that's the harder one. I think Another hard game is the America Pachuca game, only because America seems to struggle. Pachuca did get a positive result against America in el Estadio Azteca just a couple of weeks ago for the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Basically pulled it out of their bag, took it away from America. So if America needs to win, America wants to win, they gotta find a way to break through the overloads that Pachuca does on the wings. America likes to play with their wingers out wide and just the fullbacks doing the overlaps. However, that takes away any efficiency when it's 2 attacking players from America versus 5 of Pachuca. Just very, very hard thing to do. Yeah, so America it'll be a tough game for America as well. Let me know in the comments what you think. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll come back next week for our semifinal predictions. I hope to have them ready in time before the first leg is played, so keep an eye on that. Have a great weekend. Drink some water. Take a shot for me. Hug your loved ones. Peace out.